So today I'm going to be showing how I make a simple background for these animations. Um, as you can see here, I've already set up the just walking because I use the same bit over and over again. Music's already in it, so that's fine. But I need to do a background for it because this is going to be one of the end scenes where he just walks off to the distance and simple text says that you continue this adventure till death, hoping to find an adventure as good as this one or better. And it's going to be something along those lines. I still need to roughly think of it. Get rid of that because we really don't need that. So as you see, he's whistling as he walks. But there's no whistling noise in it, which is fine because I've got some music already in it. As you can see, there's already so many different layers because I can't get rid of them for some reason. So, but anyway, it does not matter because we don't really need to worry about all of them. And the main ones we've already got done are here, so they're going to keep moving. But what I will need to do is start making it go towards a hill or like the distance. So we're gonna make a quick sort of I guess scene. So we'll go on this background and we'll go to the end because this is going to be pretty much, this is a still image. So go here and insert frames. So this whole picture is going to be pretty much like just a continuation of the whole thing. And to start off, we're gonna make a point that the distance is gonna be in. So, alright, so we can draw on that. Control Z because we don't need that. And we're just gonna make a point in black. So about here. So there. Probably a bit too big. We'll go a bit smaller. It's about... it's huge. I don't want it that big. I just want it tiny almost. About there. So that's the point pretty much. And what we're going to do is just draw lines too thick. I can always rub that bit out. So we don't want it too thick because it's going to be just a, but we don't want it too, guess that'll be alright. And then we're just going to do that as well. So it looks like a path going into the distance. And to help that, we're going to just go make a line across the whole screen, just a straight line. And then to help, we're going to add a sunset and all that sort of stuff eventually. So it adds a bit of depth into it, and you can sort of see where the road gets smaller, it's going into the distance. So now we can rub this bit out because we really don't need that bit anymore. We found the point, and all I've got to do is just go back over this line here with this tool. It's too low. I don't want it that low. And whoop. It's not going to be perfect. It's a simple background really. But now it's to sort of add colour to it, I guess. So this is going to be a dirt path because the way it's going to be is he's just come out of the forest, because in the scene I'm doing, it's a forest scene where you can either pick a house or this path, and this path is just an end scene really, so nothing happens, it's just him walking off into the distance. And that's why when I start walking him, he's not going to go anywhere, the screen's not going to go anywhere, he's just going to be getting smaller pretty much, going to the distance and then to the end sort of thing. So because can't pause with a the space. So now we got that done. We can add the sunset, I guess. So I'm gonna start off with a nice yellowish color. We'll go into the background below for the reason of so I can hide it. So insert frames, and literally this is so it can just be hidden. So we'll get a circle like this, and we're gonna, we'll have a black inside, and sun in the sunset is quite orangey, so I guess about like that. For some reason it just, so what we're going to do is just a nice sunset like that, but when we color this layer in, so we're now back on here, click off of that, so say the path is going, because in a dirt trail we'll just go here and we'll go down to about there and then make it a light brownish color, so about there. Actually, unless we do want to make it a fieldish sort of green, so maybe that does work as well. So now to add sort of a nightish, the sunset sky, I'm gonna go over to Photoshop quick, so I'll cut and then make it in Photoshop because it'll be so much easier to do, because you can have a you can add more effects in it. So I'll be back in a second. So we're just gonna find the rough point. So let's do nope, it's more in the mid. Guess about there. So about here, and that means that must be the that point. So pretty simple what to do. There's multiple ways we can do it, like that. Maybe a bit lighter, like that. Then we're gonna make it smaller. About here, where then we're gonna go to a orangey color like that, and just go like this. So don't worry, it won't look this roughy when I'm done. So like that. A rough sort of sunset. I might add clouds as well with this, because yeah, I'm now in Photoshop. I haven't done a Photoshop background for any of my things, so it's going to be a little bit different. And now we're going to go to the mixer brush, which when we make it a bit bigger, because we're just going to kind of blend it so it kind of looks a bit more natural. So add, like, it gives it some sort of natural, almost lighting effect sort of thing. Might make it a bit bigger actually. There we go. Wrong bit. Just make this bigger. So obviously a bit lighter than that, a bit bigger than that, and just go whoop, whoop, whoop. And what we can do a bit lighter because it seems a bit dark. No, we'll scratch that. Let's think. How could we do clouds? I mean, I don't have to add clouds. I mean, I thought it'd be nice, but who knows? Yeah, honestly, I don't know how to do clouds, because that just gives it a kind of a whiteness over it. I mean, I guess that kind of works as clouds. So just decrease that and go. My thing and just above this one, so we'll go create another layer, Control V, and then we just adjust him. Like so. And there we go. That's a brilliant sunset. Yeah, I know it's on the outside and all, but it looks cool. And I got it right, which is good. So, yep, perfect sunset for this scene. And I actually really like the cloud effect to it as well. So, I didn't like that cloud over here that much, but that and that is sort of like perfect. And yeah, it just, I feel like it makes it really. So I mean, I could add like little details like grass. So with this, just get a darker green and go like wrong layer apparently. This layer is the one we want. We just want to go whoop, whoop, and just dot like different lines kind of all over the place. And yeah, because the for some reason I've managed to somehow change the brush. I should really dot it out a bit more and space it a bit more. So we'll do that. That. And then that one. But yeah, because for some reason the brush I'm using has just kind of changed itself. It's now gone to this sort of like weird brush where it does like that if I go on for too long, or yeah, it kind of curves it, but it gives it a nice grass effect sort of thing. So I can just do like little grass bits. I might even add a rock feature because rocks are easy to do. So if I do, I'll show you. Yeah, I might add a rock over here. So I'm going to do another layer. This layer will do. Is anything on that layer? Nope, nothing's on that layer. So I can just add a rock in it and be like, there's a rock there. So I'm going to clear that off just so I get a decent thing. Rocks. I'll use a line. I should have used my tablet, but I don't have it on me at the moment. So what we're going to do is just make it a rough kind of rockish shape. So remember, sharp, jagged edges almost. Like that. 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 With a point in it like so. So that gives you a rough rock shape. And then what we can do is just go, we'll zoom in because this is where we add the detail. This is probably the most detail I've done for a background to sort of show my improvement. I've had a look at how to do rocks before, but this is going to be a kind of basic rock because I'm not in Photoshop. I could do it in Photoshop, but it's going to take too long. So yeah, just kind of add very fine detail, like where it's going to indent, where it's not going to indent. So I could do something like that, and that shows that it's going to indent a bit, like a crack almost. And then you like go from here to show that it's slanting this way, and then do that, and for the final bit, that and that. So that's a rough like rock kind of shape. I can add other bits in it in a bit, but first of all, I'm just gonna fill it in with a lightish grey. So simple rock. You could in a minute we can, like when we do it, not like that, and just rotate it so it looks like it's part of it. So we'll just leave it straight at the moment. And now we're going to add the shading. So the shading is kind of easy on depending on where the sun's coming from. So this bit's going to be darker than, say, this bit around here. So we can add like a curve almost here. So if we do a darker grey, so that one, and we do that, we can then curve this a bit, and then it shows where we're planning to add the curve, and we can add a bit here as well to sort of show light can only hit here because of the sun, where the sun is facing, and the rest is going to be kind of shadowy. But we're also going to add a bit of a shadow here as well to show it indents slightly. And then, so for now we'll just close this up, so like that. So now we can should be able to fill this bit in. It's because of the lighter grey, the dark, no, too dark. So like that. And then, so yeah, that's the light grey where the light hits. Is it too dark? No, that's about perfect. Yeah, that's one grey up. I mean, we can go a bit lighter, I guess. There's no way of lightening it. Okay, so yeah, it would do. Now, because that bit's going to be there, it's this bit that needs to be kind of darkish, which we need to zoom in for this bit. So we're going to zoom really closely in, and whoop, bam. So it's going to go to a point about here, and then a point to here, and then just go like that. Probably the wrong way round, but I do like that effect. It gives it a nice sort of glistening effect, which I feel is quite nice. We'll zoom out for this. 50, go in 100. Scratch what we've just done there. How do I redo? I don't know how to redo. Just gonna zoom in 200. Go here, because that gives it a sort of a nice, really nice effect. So fill. So the sun's coming from that side, so we'll do it here, like that. So that gives it kind of a really nice effect, which I really like actually, especially for the shadow of getting darker to about here, where it's going to be the darkest point. And I really like that. It's just amazing. Like playing around with it. You could do so many different things. So yeah, you can do that as well. Just then, but that, I mean, that does. It's just I feel. No, but at least with this one, we can go here and just do that. So that's where the light hits, and then the rest is going to darker sort of thing. We can then add darker shades to underneath these bits. So already that bit's darker there, but pieces like this here, or well, technically this bit here was. Don't have to worry. I mean, it's going to be simple. But what I do like to do at the end of these, nice grass feature. So go whoop, probably a bit thicker. That's 6. So whoop. So like that, it gives it a sort of a nice effect of like grass growing up it. I want to try and add moss to it as well. But how would I do moss? We're going to use this brush because this brush we can sort of change to other brushes, so we can have like a preset brush. So from this window here, there we go, and now we're just going to go to 100 because then we can sort of see, get rid of that, and now we can slightly turn if we need to, which I don't think we actually needed to. And that adds a rock into the there we go. So now that adds a rock into it, and we just click off. Actually, probably tilted it the wrong way. No, I need to tilt it that way. Just sort of show that. And there we go. And that's a rock in the. We could add little rocks in it, I guess, but I think that's fine on its own. And now we're just gonna quickly get everything back in here, and voila, background is all done. So that's the background of it. Now it's just the simple animation of making it get smaller as it goes into the distance. Simple enough. But first of all, save this because I've got other Walkmans and all that sort of stuff because that's all I save them as apparently. We'll save as this one, so we're not to copy these ones of this one. So this one's going to be 3 because it's the third one of the set, and literally go save, voila, this is now different, and yeah, it shows there's more detail in the actual thing. I'm really happy with the rock, I'm really happy with the sunset, and now, yeah, the final bit is just to animate him. Between his and to this point, we want to select the from this point. We want to select the whole thing and just increase and drag. Increase and Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Redo. Drag like that and go like that. So yeah, it works, and it shows going off into the distance. It almost like we're traveling with him into the distance. Which then we don't need to do anymore because this bit can now be removed from here, and remove every other frame from this point can be removed. There we go. And now all we got to do is just add text. So this has probably been a long video, but that's fine.